So I got some big news. I decided to give the Pixel 4 another shot. I feel as a tech community, when this device was first launched and the reviews came out, people were really harsh on this smartphone. I wanted to give it another chance a few months down the road because Pixel devices in history usually get better over time. Software updates get applied, things get fixed, and the phone usually gets better. This happens to be the case with the Pixel 4. A lot has changed from a software standpoint to make this a better device. The first thing though is the design. Like, I really do appreciate this design. Like, I understand these top bezels on the bottom and top are very thick, but there's no notch, there's no cutout. It's a very simple and clean design. The other thing I came to appreciate is the matte coating on the back of this smartphone. This is a glass device, and the simple matte coating on the back makes the phone feel less slippery, and it also gives the illusion that this phone is less fragile. Now, right now I have a D brand skin on it. This is not an advertisement, because I wanted the orange to match the orange power button on the right side of the phone. Now, RAM was a big issue on the Pixel 3. It was only 4 GB, and it had like terrible problems. Apps would force close on you, it slowed down the device, it just wasn't a smooth experience. Thankfully, the upgrade to 6 on the Pixel 4 makes the biggest of differences. I haven't had this phone slow down on me once. I've had tons of applications open in the background, I've played games, I've done productivity, and not once did this device get hindered. Memory management on this phone is just significantly better. The other thing is the Soli sensor, and I'll be honest with you, I was super excited for it. I made a video about it. I was hyping it up because I really truly thought Google was gonna execute it on it properly. But after using the device for the past few months, I have to say the Soli sensor has left me feeling disappointed. The features that are baked in here, like motion sense or swiping your hand across the top of the device, it works, but it's very finicky. In fact, I actually turned off most of the features to reserve battery life, and because of that, I've gained about 6 to 7% more battery life. The only thing I use the Soli sensor for now is basically as a security mechanism to use Face Unlock to get into my device. And I have to say though, Google did a very good job. This thing is insanely fast. The elephant in the room is obviously battery life. This was one of the biggest complaints when this phone launched. And if you buy the smaller Pixel 4, battery life is still bad. You'll have a tough time getting through the entire day. However, the Pixel 4 XL with software improvements, turning off some of the motion features from the Soli sensor, allows the battery to be actually pretty good. I'm able to get about 4.5 to 5 hours of use before needing to charge, which is an upgrade compared to the 3.5 to 4 hours I originally got when I first tested this device. That means I can get through the entire day with medium usage without having to worry about charging. Now, don't get me wrong, if you do go hard on this phone and you're constantly using it throughout the entire day, you might need to top up sometime in the night. Now, I know not having an ultra-wide lens was one of the biggest complaints, and me too would prefer to have one over a telephoto lens, especially a 2x zoom. Like, it's not that significant, but there hasn't been a situation yet where I've needed the ultra-wide. But I know that time will come when I start taking more pictures outdoors. The other thing to note is the fact that this software, combined with the 90 Hz display, to me at least, offers the best Android experience. Now, this is purely subjective. Some will argue and say OnePlus, others will even say Samsung. But I personally feel the Pixel has the best software experience. The combination of the high refresh rate, plus the clean minimalistic interface, and the gestures just put this on top. Now, I know the gestures are exactly like the iPhone, like they're copied to the T, but they work really well on Android. Being able just to swipe to the right to go back is much more enjoyable than having to move your finger down and click on a capacitive button. So that pretty much wraps up my few month later review on the Pixel 4. I think we were a bit too harsh. I also think 64 GB and taking away unlimited photos was a bad idea, especially when you're trying to make this phone like the iPhone of Android devices. I think you need to capture market share first. They should also offer higher storage options than just 64 and 128. For a lot of people, that just might not be enough. Anyways, that wraps it up. I'm moving the Pixel 4 XL from not recommended to recommended, but do not buy the regular Pixel 4 because the battery life is just too bad right now. That wraps it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.